Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we just got finished with the PS5 Pro reveal, and honestly, this is what you call a money grab. Like, this is literally just a cash grab of Sony, waiting to see which of their hardcore fanboys get the console. Because it's literally useless. If you're super duper rich, you're more than welcome to buy it. Otherwise, it's, in one word review, useless. Yes, it's literally useless. So please like, share and subscribe and comment down below your opinion on PS5 Pro as a breakdown why basically you should not buy it. Like, it's a big fat no as to whether you should buy it. Let's look at the price first of all. Let's forget everything else. Have they put the price? Oh, obviously they haven't, because why would they? They know it's expensive. Let me open the PS5 Pro price. We should have the images up, shouldn't we? Yeah, there it is. Honestly, I don't even know. Like, I don't know what they were smoking when they introduced the price. But yeah, this is the price. In US, it's $700. You get no disc. It's digital edition, $700. Stand is sold separately. Vertical stand. So you won't be able to even put it vertically. And disk drive, if you want to connect it to a physical disk drive, a Blu-ray drive, you also have to buy it separately. So at least with a stand and a disk drive, it amounts to at least $750, $800. We don't have the official pricing, but they will be expensive. Let me tell you that much already. Now let's look at the breakdown of the PS5 Pro. First of all, we'll start with this, and we're also going to reveal the technical presentation they hosted. Upgraded GPU. This is true. This is good. They have upgraded the GPU. This is all okay. I've done computer science. I know what they are talking about. 67% more compute units. Great. And 28% faster memory, which is very good. Honestly, like, you'll be able to render games so much faster. The pop-in can get reduced a lot. This is what it basically helps in. You'll be able to see things farther more in the distance. Basically LOD. As I said, basically this 45% faster rendering for gameplay, advanced ray tracing. They've added more powerful ray tracing stuff, which allows more dynamic reflection and reflection of light. This allows the rays to be cast at double and at times triple the speed of the current PS5 console. Now let me break this down for you. Ray tracing on a whole has been quite disappointing in consoles. Let's be flat out honest. You won't, like, if you put an image of the game side by side, you will only notice ray tracing by then if you're in an area where it's heavily wet and you're seeing reflections everywhere, or it's a very jungly area and it's surrounded by trees and forest, and you're literally looking at the minute details of the forest and the grass blades. You're not gonna notice this at all. I'll be flat out honest with you. So the only major big upgrade is this and this. AI driven upscaling. This is good. Basically, DSLR, Nvidia's DSLR, I think everybody knows how good that is. AMD's FSR, even Microsoft's Windows has it, Intel has their own XeSS. So these are very good. AI driven upscaling, PSSR is very good. But out of all of these, the only major thing you're gonna see in action is this. Now we'll go through some gameplay video which they showcased in the presentation. Yeah, let's skip forward a bit. We don't need to see all of this. Let's mute it. Okay, they start showing the difference in there it is. This is The Last of Us Part 2. First of all, why are you showcasing your newest mid-generation upgrade with a game which released on a PS4 and got remastered for a PS5? Now this is the difference. As you can see, I'm not sure if you can notice it or not, but the grass blades over there, this thing, let me just take a screenshot, help you all out a bit, highlight this a bit. Yeah, let's open this up. Yeah, if you'll notice this thing and this thing, you'll notice a bit more quantity of the grass there. The grass is a bit more sharper on the PS5 Pro side, and obviously this is running on better frame rate. This is 30. This will be at 60. This is basically what it does. You're basically doubling the frame rates on previous games which have been released or were released on the PS5 or PS4. For the future games which are coming on PS5, like you might expect GTA 6 to run at 60 frames per second on PS5 Pro, a big fat no. Why is that? Let me show you why. PS5, basically let's go specs. Let's just open this up. We don't need to see much. The major bottleneck of this generation on both the Xbox and the PS side is very simple. You have a Ryzen Gen 2, Ryzen 2 CPU, 8 core 16 threads, variable frequency up to 3.5 GHz. Cool. This is where everything just dies. Like, they have upgraded the GPU, but the only differences you're gonna see is literally like what I showed over here. First of all, older games will get better frame rates. As you can see here, you have a little bit more detail on the PS5 Pro side, These things, the shadows are a bit lightened, then basically more realistic. This is a bit blurry, this is sharpened. You see, these very, very minute differences. Let me show you another example. Let's open, I think this was a tweet, yeah. This is PS5 Fidelity and PS5 Pro Spider-Man. I'll also show you in the video in case people might think, oh, it's a screenshot. Let's open. There it is. Yeah, this is the difference you're gonna see. Let's see a very similar shot for both of them. Oh, this is perfect. Literally, this is the difference you're gonna see. You might see a bit of blurring on the PS5 side, but on PS5 Pro, you won't see that blurring. Obviously, the frame rate, if this runs at 30 frames per second, this might be able to run at 60 frames per second, but again, only for games which have been released before on the PS5. It's not a guarantee on the newer games which will be released on the PS5 Pro, because if the game doesn't run 60 FPS on this, it doesn't have a 60 frames per second mode on the PS5 side, there's a very good chance this won't be able to run at a 60 frames per second. For example, GTA 6. Until Rockstar does some wizardry magic, the CPU bottleneck will not allow this to run at 4K 60. I'll be surprised if it runs at 1440p 60 FPS on PS5 Pro. Maybe with the help of PSSR, the upscaling tech which they have introduced. But yeah, let me show you the difference between this. It's a bit blurry on the sides. It's not blurry over here. As you can see, the blades are a lot more sharper. The grass blades. This will be the difference you're gonna see, honestly, both. Even though the screenshot don't match up quite well, as the PS5 version is a bit more early, as you can see in the animation side. But yeah, this is basically what you're gonna see in terms of differences on the picture in the game. And the next one, they'll showcase the major difference, which is frame rate per second. It's running at, as you'll notice, it's literally double the frame rates on the previous games, which is again very good because they were made with base PS5 in mind. They weren't made for the PS5 Pro in mind, which is again where the bottleneck occurs. The CPU is not upgraded. So basically, for example, Series S. People say Series S is holding back the generation. While true, I do believe if Series S wasn't there, you might see better graphics in some games. But otherwise, it's not that much of a bottleneck because again, the CPU of Series S, Series X and PS5 is almost 99% same. Which is why there's no basically hindrance in this generation. And $700, what are they thinking? This digital edition, people already console sales are already dropping. Historically, consoles were a lot more popular. Nowadays, they have reduced a lot. And $700 harder. I know, mid-generation console, which honestly, like I said, you literally have to view like this. Again, as you notice, the grass blades are sharper, the LOD is a lot better. As you can see, it's a lot more blurry on the PS5 performance side. Pro side, it's better. You can see more clearly. There's less, what you can say, volumetric fog. Even though it's not volumetric fog, they have just blurred it. LOD, basically, yeah. This is a difference you're gonna see. You literally have to peek into the screen to find the differences if you're not watching them side by side. Spending $700 on a console for where you have to literally look at the grass space to see the difference is not worth it. I don't know what people at Sony were thinking, by the way. Again, because, like, for example, yeah, let me show you something. There's a game, if you remember, Plague Tale Requiem. Yeah, exactly this game. Rat chase. Let's just open any rat chase. Yeah, perfect. This scene. For example, okay, can we go next? This scene, the bottleneck in this game, as in other games, has been look at the amount of rats there are. This puts a load on the CPU where basically the game cannot run at 60 or 120 frames per second on these consoles because this many amount of individually rendered rats puts a toll on the CPU. In the PS5 Pro, what might happen is if the game has a performance or a fidelity setting. In this game, I don't think the PS5 will be able to run it at more than 60 frames per second at 1440p. Basically, at the moment it runs at 40 FPS. Even now, I don't think it's possible to run it at 60 frames per second because again, the CPU has not been upgraded. It's just the rendering difficulty will still be there. The CPU would still have to process all of these rats together. It won't be able to do that, so you'll basically be still running at basically better graphics. What might happen is this might be ray traced, everything might be. You might have ray traced shadows. The rats might look a bit better. But that's basically the difference you're gonna see throughout the PS5 Pro's tenure. It's not gonna do much, and they haven't even obviously they would not, which is it's a mid-generation upgrade, so CPU getting touched is a no-no. And the wireless technology and everything, Wi-Fi 7 will good. VRR and 8K gaming are supported. This is a gimmick. VRR was already there. This is a gimmick. 8K. Most of us don't even have an 8K television. I don't even know what to say about this. Obviously, it's a bit bigger than the PS5 normal that's introduced. This is the problem. Disk drive is sold separately, vertical stand is sold separately. So what you have to put $850, and it's not like they're giving you the DualSense Edge controllers and some brilliant goodies with the PS5 Pro. You're literally getting nothing. 2TB SSD, one controller, Astro Playroom, which is free in every single game, PS5. That's it. That's all you're gonna get. November 7th. Pre-orders will begin late September 26th. My suggestion: do not buy it. Do not think about buying. Fitness, play, and list. I think Sony's motto in this has been play has no limits. They've forgotten play has financial limits. If you're rich, you can buy it. There's no problem. But let's look at the Twitter feed. The price of 600. Okay, this is almost. I think even Syriax, even he's saying not worth it. Sony's been getting made fun of. My suggestion would be to wait for Switch 2. If it's good, buy it. Nintendo makes brilliant games. Handheld console is pretty big. So Switch 2 new generation. It's supposed to have the graphical abilities of the PS4 and Xbox One. That should be what you should go for next if you really want to buy a console, or wait for the next generation PS6 or the next Xbox, whichever one you like. Because there are rumors that Xbox might release the next generation next year. If that happens, Sony will be forced to release the next generation either next year or the year after that, 2026. So oh my feed is filled with this. My field is literally filled with this. Hidden camera footage of Xbox executives to stay professional. The 700 price dollar is so dumb. Because again, let's look at the PS5 first party games. Let's look at every single first party exclusive which has been released for the PS5. Astrobot 1. Playroom is free. I'm not gonna count. Concord, massive flop. Not released. Death Stranding 2, not released. Director's Cut, this will come in 2025, so let's say it's tentative for next year, if not delayed. Demon Souls remake, flop. Don't know when it's gonna be released. Same. This released last year. I don't think anybody played it. PS4 game, a cross-gen game, which is very good. This is one of the shining examples of a brilliant game in this generation. GT7 is a decent game. I'm not gonna say the money hatting in this game was too much for me to even bother with this game. This is a very good game. You have two good games in this generation. A PSVR game. Even the PSVR 2 is not worth it. This is not a good game. Decent game, I finished it. You just can't connect with the alloy. like she's so dull basically, like it's so difficult to connect with her. This is Lego Marvel Spider-Man 2. I pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition of this game and it was so disappointing. I basically completed the game, 100%ed it, got the Platinum Trophy, didn't play it after that. This was a disappointing mess. Okay, PS4 game. Is there any PS5 game? We don't know when Wolverine is gonna release after the leak. So basically, this generation has only 2-3 brilliant games: God of War Ragnarok, Astro Bot, and what? Is there gonna be any other game? Yeah, the first Stellar Blade, if you want to include. That's basically it. This is the whole generation. PS5 generation. Xbox is even more disappointing because it had hype games like Starfield, Hellblade 2, but they just didn't live up to their expectations. Even though I do believe Starfield and Hellblade are overhated, but they're still not generation defining games. Same with PS5. You wanna spend $800 on a disc edition or $700 on a digital edition with no vertical stand on a console where you have no knowledge when the big hitter games are gonna release, if they're even gonna release. Because let's be honest, this generation has been a dud in terms of first party exclusive. Apart like Black Myth Wukong third party game, Final Fantasy, Square Enix third party game, Persona third party game, GTA also third party game. Basically third party games are what's keeping this generation alive. Otherwise this has been a shit generation. So spending $700 on the Pro where you have no knowledge of when a good game is gonna release, when a big hitter game is gonna release, it's logically, practically, it doesn't make any sense at all. So yeah, that's my opinion. Do not buy the PS5 Pro. If you have money, you can do whatever you want. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, and you can literally buy even if you don't have money. It's your life, but my suggestion would be to not buy. No sense at all. And honestly, $700, let's be honest, I do believe you can get a very good PC in $700. Gaming PC, no, we won't even go 700. We'll go above, under $1,200, because a PC can do a lot more. So I expect, people to shell out a bit more for that. This is of India. We don't want the Indian one. USA. Yeah. I'm just not gonna find the website. Google, what are you doing, man? Tools. More. Pre-built PCs. Let's look at this website. Again, I'm just gonna go for a normal. Let's go this. RTX 4060 Ryzen 5, 16 GB memory, 1 TB storage. Get this, in a few more years get a better graphic card. Let's look at the processor. Ryzen 5 5600. Yeah, you're gonna last a very long time with this. And this is a pre-built one, by the way. If you build it yourself, you will be able to build a better one in this same price range of $1,000. A lot better. Like literally, I'm not even joking about it. I built a game PC and you can really build a better one if you pre-build it yourself. You don't need to buy a pre-built online. Build it yourself. You can get a better one. You can compromise on the GPU a bit. Don't compromise on the CPU. Like get an RTX 4060 as in this PC, and later down the line, after 2-3 years, get a new high-end graphic card, and you're basically set for the whole generation. This is the advantage of a PC. And unless so yeah, I can't justify buying a PS5 Pro. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one, and goodbye. Peace.